Good morning, everyone. Of course, this is Daniel Simon at Baton Rouge Community College. Of course, I want to welcome you to my History 1123 class that you've signed up for. I'm sure it's a continuation of the History 1113 you probably took before. So anyway, I want to welcome you, of course, to my class again. And hope you are doing great out there. I know it's kind of a cold day today, isn't it? Chilly last few days, I know. But I'm kind of warm in my room back there. You see that back with that piano. It's actually fake. But anyway, I hope you are doing good this morning. Looks like we've got so far Savannah, of course, looks like she's watching right now on YouTube. Anybody else want to come in, of course, into StreamYard, you can, or also on YouTube. Bonita, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing great this morning. Anyway, kind of going over the syllabus today and all that, mostly just talking about the class. No lecture today or anything like that planned, of course, overall. But if anybody wants to join me in StreamYard, you can. There's the link, of course, below. Plenty of room, StreamYard.com. Of course, I'm streaming my lectures and all that, as you know. And and if anybody has any questions, during, of course, not a lecture today, but if anybody has any questions during the live stream, let me know so I can answer them. Or you can also, you can send, questions, comments to my channel through whatever video it is, or you can email me. You probably know my email address, simond@mybrcc.edu. So you should already have that information pretty much. So anyway, before we get started today, I did want to talk about a few things that y'all need to start doing right now for the class. You've probably already seen there's some assignments that you got to work on right now and get that done. I know the one thing you have to do this week is you got to work on the pretest. Pretest, I think, is due by Friday, I believe. And so that's one thing you do need to get done because that is going to count for attendance this week for week 1. So that's something you have to do. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Well, you should be already starting to work on like the vocab. There should be a first vocab assignment to work on right now. And then I believe you also, you need to go ahead and decide what book you want to do for your book report. There should be a list already that's online in Canvas already for you to kind of choose which one you want to do. And just email me, when you decide on that. Oh, if anybody's interested in doing that veterans project, the oral history project, let me know via email if you're interested in signing up for that or not. It's worth 200 bonus points, but it's totally voluntary. So you don't have to do it, to pass this class or anything like that. But if you want to, participate with that, you can. So it's worth a lot of points. And of course, it can obviously affect your grade a lot in the semester. So let's go ahead and look at this information I've already got. I've got a bunch of announcements I've already posted. Of course, you've got the Welcome to History 1123 that I've got up. You probably saw that already. And I've got like 5 or 6 announcements already posted online for you to look at right now. So go ahead and look at that, the syllabus. And I'll go through the syllabus for a few minutes. Not a long, video with this, but we'll kind of go through and talk about the main points in the syllabus you need to know about overall. But yeah, so it talks about that, and then it kind of goes into and talks about also some of the other assignments. See the book report, and of course, then you got the veterans project thing on the bottom. And as you know, I have a YouTube channel. Of course, I developed last year. I'm kind of expanding on, and all that. So I am using it to teach my classes. And it's easier to do that anyway, and I can stream them and have them up there real quick for you to look at. And there should be like a little short video on the bottom of that first announcement. It's kind of like a preview, I guess, of the class and all that. If you want to look at that, where it says Welcome to History 1123 on the bottom there as well. But I've got a bunch of other announcements that I've got as well that you can take a look at. I think the other ones you want to look at, of course, like I said, I'm using StreamYard, which is like a streaming service, basically stream my videos. It's kind of like a cross between live and not live, because I guess most of you are going to probably watch us record it, after I stream it and all that. So it's kind of like a cross between Zoom and Google Meet somewhat, but it's using streaming instead. Yeah, you do get bonus points. Like, you don't have to watch the streams live. It's optional to do that. But I will be giving bonus points for those that do watch them live, but not today. You won't get any points today because this is not really a lecture. But you can also comment, of course, and ask questions through my YouTube channel. Like if I put a video up, you can, ask a certain historical question or basic comments about it. But make sure it's some kind of, if you have to do just a basic comment, make sure it's some kind of, positive, negative feedback about it or something like that about the lecture. And not just say you watched it. And I think there's guest instructions for StreamYard. You see on the bottom there, if you want to come into that. If you want to come into StreamYard, you do have to be logged into YouTube. So don't forget about that. So you can't just log in without that. Just the other stuff there. And then, of course, you can go down here. I've got other things. Like there's information about the pre-test, of course, right here, which is due Friday. So like I said, get that done. That's worth 10 bonus points for that. Let's see what else. I do have information on just my YouTube channel, like the main direct link here, of course. And there's a playlist for all the lectures, videos, I have in the semester right here. That's the link to go to it. Or you can go to my channel. But most of my streams like this are unlisted until I make it public. So it'll be unlisted until I convert it to public. I've already got some stuff coming up. Of course, we have the review day thing right here. You saw, of course, just right here. But we are having our first lecture this week. So Thursday, January 14th, 9 a.m., I'm going to, of course, talk about the Reformation. I think you may have seen that little preview video. If you saw it, I don't know if you looked at it or not yet, but I did have a little preview video. I might do some of these during the semester, little preview videos on what's upcoming, and all of that. I kind of put a little Monty Python little video in there. If you saw that. But that's kind of the format right there that I have. And that's going to be part one. So probably be a two-part series for the Reformation that I've got coming up. Let me also show you some other things, of course, as well in what I've got in Canvas, because there's like different things before I go to the syllabus and all of that. But let me show you that real quick. Also, you go into, of course, there's also, like I said, assignments already posted right now for you to look at. First key terms assignment right there, worth 150 points. That's due in early February. So you need to go ahead and start working on that. The textbook for my class is optional. It's called History of World Societies. So it's optional to get that. A lot of students get it for the vocabulary assignments that I give out. And I do have a list of various sources below, like secondary sources you can use to look up the vocab if you don't want to use a textbook. So you do have an optional about that. And I do this because the textbooks can be kind of expensive. That's the reason why I do that. And I don't teach out of the textbook. I pretty much have my own lectures, and I've been teaching for over 20 years, so I pretty much know most of this stuff anyway. Other assignments, book reports and review research paper. Don't forget about that. That's, of course, a major assignment for the class due in April. So you need to go ahead and start looking at, what book you want to do for the class. Like I said, via email, let me know what, book you want to do. There's plenty of books in the list. So I don't think last semester we had anybody that really canceled one out. So I think pretty much every book will probably be pretty much open. The directions are here, but they're also in the syllabus. And there's also a writing rubric I've got too as well for the book report. There's the veterans oral history. That's just where the points are for it, but it does tell you how to turn it in and all that. But I think you either email it to me like via Google Drive or something like that, or you can attach it to the speed grader. And I've had some students ask me about the speed grader. To turn in something with the speed grader, you go to the assignment, and there should be a submit button at the top, which takes you to the bottom where you attach files. Of course, first exam study guides. Of course, I have study guides and modules. Those will be attached here, the first one anyway. Will go there if you complete those, which are worth 10 bonus points. What else? These are all just the points for the YouTube stuff and all that, but tennis points right here. Also, don't forget about this, the student contract policy page. Yeah, make sure you go that as well and do that. On page 5 of the syllabus, you need to look at that and fill that out and post that to the speed grader. So that's 5 bonus points you can get right there as well, along with the pre-test as well. Pre-test either here, quizzes, or I think it's also in modules as well. It's in multiple spots. You can't miss it. There's a page on files. Files is where they have all the different files in the class. If you want to go find something up in there. On this page where it says syllabus, I put the syllabus right here as well. And then I did put information about the textbook, which is right here. And yeah, the textbook we're using is History of World Societies, Volume 2. There is also like a combined edition. Some of you might have that where it's Volume 1 and Volume 2. So it'll just be the second half of it. But Volume 2, I guess, looks like that. At least that's what the bookstore has. There's a contact for the bookstore. Here's also an example on Amazon of it as well. Also on the bottom is a course summary. These are things that are due coming up, like assignments, etc. So I'll list all that. Some might not be, of course, have dates on them and all that. But that's basically the main ones that are coming up. Under quiz, we don't have much yet, but we have the pre-test right here, of course. Modules has a bunch of stuff. It's got, of course, that Welcome History 1123 announcement video I had. That was in that first announcement in Canvas. I did put the pre-test here. And I also put the student contract policy page thing to turn in right here as well. Also put my YouTube channel homepage right here. Also put the playlist for the lectures right here as well. In week 1 schedule, of course, I'll put this video up in here somewhere, like below here, after I finish streaming. But that's pretty much what we're doing the day. But later in the week, of course, Thursday, January 14th, 9 a.m., of course, I'm going to be going over the Reformation. That's probably part 1. There'll probably be 2 parts to it as well. By the way, it's not in here, but if you have class on Monday, no classes Monday, of course, because of Martin Luther King Day. So I believe that's the January 18th on that date. If you go down to the bottom, I know it's like a lot of pages that go down here, but there's information on the bottom too. There's study guides for all the exams, which are right here. The first one's right here to turn in also as well. I got the list of source of books for the book report. You all look at that too as well. Also, the information on the historical guidelines for the Oral History Project is also right here as well. Here's also examples of interviews that have been done by past BRCC students. I didn't put all of them in there, but I put, I guess, the best ones or the most complete ones that I've got up to date. Like it says, it doesn't have to be like someone that was in a war, like conflict. I think I had last semester somebody was like just in the Cold War era, like in, I think, Germany or something like that. And that's, you can have that as well. So it could be anything from like, I think, War II up to like the present, pretty much, like a veteran. Academic calendars right here as well. So take a look at that. Doesn't have a lot of information in it, but it's got some basic dates in there for holidays and things like that. Semester hours, usually for us after class, I pretty much will be at home in my office, since it's all online, virtual online, pretty much. Email contact right here. I prefer email, pretty much contact. But I've also got my phone number right here. If you need to meet like face to face, we could do Zoom or StreamYard or something like that. If you want to meet face to face or something like that as well. Also, Proctorio on the bottom is here for those that are taking proctored exams in the semester. It's the wrong date, but that's okay. I'm probably not using them in case there's technical issues or something like that where they can't complete it. My pretty much exams, quizzes are pretty much open notebook. So anyway, just kind of going through all the major things that are, that I've got on there right now, that I got on my Canvas page overall. By the way, if you have any comments, questions during this stream, you can either, like I said, send me some questions, comments about it, or later on my channel, or email me, if you got a question about something more or less. So yeah, let me go ahead and go over the syllabus. Let me do that. That's, of course, the next thing we need to do. Let's see, let me bring that up for you. So there it is. And so, yeah, it has like the basic information at the top of the syllabus. You can see there. This is like a continuation pretty much of the previous class. You probably took my 11-13. I think most people have probably taken it already. And they're just taking the second half maybe. But so, yeah, everything's online. So office, I haven't been on campus really since March last year. It's crazy. Kind of starting to like this online thing, though, because I don't have to drive anywhere. But yeah, those are my contact numbers, of course. 225-937-9242, of course, my phone number there you can see. So you can call me or text me. Email address, simond@mybrcc.edu. That, of course, is my preferred contact, pretty much. I'm pretty quick with answering emails. So I pretty much answer sometimes real quick, So unless it's like late at night or something like that. But office hours, like I said, virtual. Pretty much I'm planning to do it like 10:30 to 12:30 during the day, Monday through Friday. So if you got a question about something, you really can just anytime, I don't care when it is, I'll pretty much answer it. Problems you might have with the class. And if you want to meet face to face, that's possible. Zoom, Stream, even StreamYard, we can, it's kind of like similar anyway. So that's possible as well. It is a survey class. What I mean by that, it's basically a lecture-based class, kind of very broad, information. We don't go quite in the detail on everything, because we've got to cover so much material. I guess over a period of like, I don't know how far we go exactly, but 500 years doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot happened in the last 500 years, as you know. I do have like learning outcomes on the bottom. You can see here, right here. Those are just things that you should be able to successfully do when you complete the class. So demonstrate knowledge on the Reformation, nation building, world revolutions, modern periods of world history. We do a lot of European history in here because, the Europeans kind of dominate a lot of the modern stuff the last few hundred years, as you know. Locate and retrieve historical data, of course, about people's events, etc. Comprehend, primary, secondary type, documents, etc. Pretty much things like that you'll be doing. That, of course, is the textbook. Like I said, History of World Societies. There's different versions of it. I think I'll give you like the volume 2. I think I've got listed. That was under where the syllabus was in Canvas. It's not a mandatory textbook that you do have to get for my class, but some students do get it for like the vocabulary assignments or as also a reference. You can do it, get it as well. So you can maybe buy it or rent it or whatever. BRCC's bookstore, or you can get like internet. A lot of people just order it on the internet, Amazon or whatever, and mail it to you. And that's another way you can get it as well. And like I said, already the first like the first vocab assignment's already been posted. I think there's going to be 3 more. I think I've got 4 planned for the semester. Then we have different grades, of course, here. There's going to be 3 exams in the entire semester: first exam, second exam, and a final exam. And I don't give a midterm. I'll kind of explain that later, but it's kind of usually like, I think the second exam usually comes after the midterm. But most of my exams are going to probably be like multiple choice. I might even use some matching, fill in the blank type questions. I don't know about true false, but I don't usually do essay. I used to do essay, but I used to use like blue books and things like that, so we can't really do that. So I don't really do that anyway. So yeah, each exam is worth 200 points. They're all based on whatever material we cover for that exam. So I don't have anything really cumulative where it's all one exam. So it's basically we test whatever we're covering at the time. And then whatever I guess the final is at the end is usually what I guess is whatever we have left, to cover. I don't give midterm exams, like I say, but I do have like a midterm exam week I usually have where I do makeups or something like that instead. So usually halfway through the semester, I guess that'll be in March, I'll have a period where you could make up assignments that you missed. I think I did it for the final as well for a few people, if they need to make up something. But that's usually just to keep people in the class and try to, get your grade up a little bit so you can continue with the class. Now, I do have an exemption for the final. Like any student that does have like an A+, range going into the final does not have to take the final. So I think it's like now 96% or so. And that, of course, includes like, turning in all your assignments that are due at the end. So you have to turn everything in. If you don't turn all your assignments in, you're not exempt. I think last semester we only had 1 student that didn't do that, and it dropped her. I think it dropped her grade to from an A to a B. So don't be that person, So if you're exempt, so turn all your stuff in at the end, whatever's due left. Let's see, book report. Yeah, you see that. That's on page 4 of the syllabus. I'll talk about that more later. I'll get to that later. That's one, of course, major assignment we have in the semester to do. Of course, there'll be video quizzes during the semester. I'll probably give you maybe a clip or video clip or show you or give you assignments on various documentaries to watch. You probably did that last semester. I usually have a bunch of those I'll probably give you to do, which are usually worth 100 points, I think is what it was last semester. And there are 50 or 100 points. I forget how many points it is. But and then, of course, Canvas quizzes on lectures and things like that will be, of course, a main assignment we'll have during the semester. So I think our first Canvas quiz will probably be on the Reformation, likely. Attendance participation points, 150 points. That's based off of assignments turned in. So as you know, for an online class like this, we cannot really do attendance for like live, watching it or whatever, because it's not a synchronous class. So it's going to be based off of assignments that you have completed each week. So each week we'll have some assignment that will be based off of the attendance. And I think for week 1, I told you it's the pretest. Study guides are also due, like when we have an exam. So those are worth 10 bonus points each. There should be 3 of those coming up. If you're exempt from the final, you can still turn in your study guide. Also, then you have the Veterans Oral History Project as well. Like I said, that you can volunteer for if you want. So it can be any veteran from, World War II to the present. It's hard to find somebody from World War II. They're pretty much in their 90s. If you can find one, that's great. If you can find somebody like that. But they're probably pretty old. Korea, yeah, also pretty hard as well. They'd be like my dad's age, probably in their 80s, But Vietnam, yeah, there's a lot of Vietnam veterans that are out there. I've already got a few on, of course, my YouTube channel that I've interviewed, of course, with students. I'm starting to see a lot of veterans that are like Desert Storm, also in the Iraq-Afghanistan conflicts, of course, as well. Now, it needs to be completed in either a video or audio interview. I do prefer video over audio. You don't have to have a transcript, though. I know it says transcript, but I think I've pretty much, you don't have to worry about that. But you do need the release form that they sign, of course, if you do conduct an interview with someone. And I do have the guidelines for it posted in modules, and it was also in that first announcement on Canvas. So let me know if you want to do this project or not. You could email me at simond@mybrcc.edu. And of course, I've got a link down here, which I showed you earlier, which it's on pretty much on my Canvas page for you to go look at various interviews. The grading scale is a 10-point scale. Pretty much it's like that at BRCC overall. So 90% to 100 for, of course, an A. Also, there's a blurb in there about plagiarism. So make sure you don't plagiarize, like steal someone's work or take work from another student or something like that. You should do pretty much all your own work. In the BRCC student handbook, they do talk about plagiarism and different degrees of plagiarism. There's also a blurb on safety, so check that out as well. Although probably likely you're not going to be on campus much. So I think, that's the only thing about that. BRCC has this thing called BRCC Connect. It's an emerging text message email system, like in case they cancel school or something like that, which you might want to sign up for. I do have stuff about conduct there. You can see on the bottom of that page. So look at that. Also, if you do go on campus, make sure you do have a student ID, parking tag for your vehicle, etc. Now, I've got a few other things on the bottom about the Academic Learning Center, if you want to read that, and disability services. They do have those, of course, on campus. If you need help with academics or something like that. So I think they have like tutoring for certain disciplines. I don't think history does usually, but like math, English, things like that, they probably have tutoring, etc. Proctorio, of course, I've got stuff about that too on Canvas, but I'm probably not going to be doing that, likely. Book report and review, page 4. Make sure you check that out. That, of course, is a pretty important aspect of the syllabus. Each student is going to have to read at least one historical work during the semester. Like I said, I'm already, having students send me ideas on what book they want to choose for the semester. So let me know about that. It's going to be up to you to get the book, by the way. That's part of the project. You might have to buy it. You might have to go to a library. There might be an internet source. You might be able to get it. Like primary sources, sometimes online. I know that. Make sure that it's only the book. So you're not supposed to use any other sources. It's not a research paper. It's more like a book report or book review, really. So you're really writing just about the book and what the author wrote about. That's pretty much. So don't use other sources. I will take points off, if you do use other sources for your paper. There's basic directions for that paper. It has to have a cover page. Using MLA style is fine. Double spacing, 12 font. Make sure you don't use italics. Minimum of 3 pages in length. That's the main body of the paper. It doesn't include like cover page, etc. So that might be minimum. So it could be longer, like 5, 6, 7 pages, etc. I don't know if I have a limit on how many you can write, but it depends on the book you read, I guess. Make sure you have a works cited page about your book, just listing what the sources, copyright, and all that with it. The main section is mostly going to be like a summarization of the paper. So primarily, you want to summarize what the author wrote about in his historical work. So make sure you do take notes on, what the author wrote about. Also include like a short review about it, either at the end, or you can also put it within the actual paper itself. So either one is fine. Also, I've got like questions on the bottom you can see about the criticism about the book. Those are just examples of what you could ask about the book You can ask different things about it if you want. Do you like the work? What would you recommend it for someone for reading? What are some positive or negative aspects of the work? What are some positive, negative aspects of the author's style of writing on the subject? So there's just questions you could, ask about it, and try to stick to what the author's writing about. I know you have your own experiences or whatever, but don't talk about that. Just stick more towards what the author's writing about. Now, research papers like that, I don't really take rough drafts, but I know during the semester, I usually take papers from students if they want to, proofread it or whatever. Like last semester, I had a few that send me their papers, and I could check it. But make sure you use like spell check and things like that, when you're writing your paper. That's the ordered outline of the paper. Cover page, main body and review, works cited page. There's actually, it says copyright page of the book. I sometimes ask for that, but you can skip that. I'll just take the works cited page. Sometimes there's different translations of the book. I know, especially the History 1113. I know there's all these old books from a long time ago, but yeah, it's fine with that. I don't need that fifth part, but I do need the works cited page, at the end at least. It's due in April. I think I told you already. It's I think listed pretty much with the assignment. And so yeah, go ahead and start sending me information about what book you want to do if you haven't done that yet. I usually give you like the first 3 or 4 weeks to decide which book you want to choose. And if you want to change the book, let me know if you don't like your book title you've picked. Also on page 5, don't forget they have the student contract policy page. Make sure you fill that out or turn that in to me in the speed grader in Canvas where the assignments are. And so make sure you look at that. That's just you understanding, what the whole framework of the semester is going to be, and that you kind of agree to the terms that are in the syllabus. And it talks about attendance policies. So make sure you understand that attendance is going to be, like I said, taken via assignments because this is not a synchronous class. So if you don't do an assignment, like say you don't do the pretest, well, you're counted absent, or you could. You don't want to be like a no-show or something like that and get kicked out of the class. So to look at that. Also, any information you miss in the class, you have to make up yourself. So that's going to be pretty easy because my lectures are going to be on my YouTube channel. So all you got to do is go back and, you miss a lecture, or whatever that week, you can go back and, of course, review it. That's on there. So that's really not a problem for that. But assignments, yeah, we'll have makeup periods for assignments, like I said, in the semester, like one at the midterm mostly. So you will have some opportunity to make up stuff, like if you miss something, but try not to do that all the time, because that can really affect your grade long term. Don't forget they have an academic learning center. I don't know if they have one for history. I don't know. I don't know anybody tutors for history. I never tutored for history, but they have other like subjects I think you can tutor for, like I said. If you have excessive absences, of course, you can drop the class. Don't forget, like you need to fill out a drop form, but I don't drop students from my classes or things like that. Like I said, you do get attendance percentage points, which is 150 points, which is based off assignments done or not done in the semester. Because like I said, this is not a synchronous class. And of course, there's a thing on the bottom if you want to fill that out if you want, student name, your major. Also, I've got 2 questions on there. What do you like about history? And what do you dislike about history? What do you hate about it? So you do get 5 bonus points for turning in that page 5. So go to the speed grader, turn that in. So first week you will get like the pretest and the contract policy page, bonus points there. Also, pages 6, 7, and 8, they talk about like the military absence policy. I don't know if anybody's in the military, but there's policies about that. And I think there's a form to fill out if you're in the military. Usually, if you're military, I'm pretty much okay with you. If you've got some kind of reason for missing class, so just let me know. We can kind of work it out with that, and then. student athlete absence policy on page 8 as well. Pretty much athletes are exempt if they're having like a sporting event or something like that. So that's not a problem. I think usually they send out lists about that. I don't know. I guess they have athletics right now, I guess, going on. But anyway, that's pretty much the information that I've got in the syllabus right there. I don't know if anybody had any comments, questions about this today, about the syllabus. I don't know if anybody has anything they want to ask me or comment about it. But let me know about that. If you can't think of anything right now, you can just email me later, or you can also ask me a question through this video on my YouTube channel that way. So either one that way. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or not, but let me know if you do about that before we go. Yeah, like I said, reminders about completing assignments again due this week. Don't forget, like I said, the pre-test. That's the thing we need to work on this week to get that done by Friday. So I believe that's looks like January 15th. So try to get that done. I'm trying to think of something else. Of course, I told you there's other things. The book report. Start sending me your, what book title you want to do for your book report for the semester and all that. Also the vocab. That first vocab, start working on that. That's due in a few weeks as well. And then if anybody's interested in the Veterans Project, that oral history project, email me about that as well. So that's pretty much the basic things I got pretty much, with Canvas in modules and all that we have. But like I said, on Wednesday, which is Thursday, January 14th, like I said, 9 a.m., I am going to have, of course, my first lecture, which will be on the Reformation, at least part 1 anyway. I'll probably cover like the early aspect of the Reformation, like under Martin Luther, John Calvin, etc. I'll probably talk about the counter or Catholic Reformation that they had. I'll talk about a few other things probably as well. But I think it's the main things I've gotten. I already have an announcement about that that I have in Canvas, and you can even watch that little preview video if you want, because it kind of shows you the PowerPoint lecture I'm going to use, of course, for the future. But that's it for today. If you have any other questions, about, like I said, like this, little short video, let me know. And hope y'all are doing great out there. Hope you're having a great week, by the way. It's cool. I know it's kind of like everything's online pretty much. Might be like that forever for a while. I don't know how long. Might be next semester too. But anyway, I like a piano back there. I'm going to go play it later. It's fake though. But y'all take care. Oh yeah, we'll be Class B on Tuesday, Thursday. Yes, Savannah, that's what I'm planning. I'm planning to do pretty much every 9 o'clock Tuesday, Thursday, unless we're at holiday or something like that. And I pretty much want to keep it consistent at the same time, during the week. So if you don't want to watch it now, you can watch it later after I finish streaming and all that. So if that's it for today, y'all take care. And like I said, I'll see you Thursday, 9 a.m. First lecture, of course, on the Reformation.